Back between last week's debate and today's Supreme Court ruling, Silicon Valley is thinking more than ever about what another Trump presidency would mean for the tech industry. Let's get to Deirdre Bosa to break that down for today's Tech Check. Deirdre?
Hey, Kelly, call it a Trump tech basket. Names that would benefit from a lighter touch when it comes to M&A intervention, a broader deregulatory agenda, and likely more China tariffs. A friendlier deal environment. That can mean more strategic M&A from the mega caps that are sitting on mounts of cash, but stifled or at least wary of doing deals under the current regulatory regime of Lina Khan and Jonathan Cantor in the Biden administration. That could be bullish for the small and mid-cap software names that have struggled this year under the Gen AI platform shift that seems to be benefiting the large incumbents and Gen AI native startups and leaving a lot of them behind. There's also the gig economy. That's Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, Instacart. They would likely get some relief too from a lighter touch. President Biden's Department of Labor has issued rules challenging the way that gig companies treat their workers as independent contractors, which is really important for their business models. A Trump administration could move away from that gig battle. American e-commerce as well. Trump's tough stance on China and more tariffs, that could hobble Temu and Shein. Those are two of the fastest growing e-commerce apps here in America and benefit Amazon, Etsy, Wayfair, and those dollar stores in particular. Social media, more of a wild card. TikTok ban, an obvious target in a Trump administration, but also some American names like Meta, Google, Snap. Remember, they are favorite punching bags of the former president, and he is now majority shareholder of his own social media competitor, DJT. There's still a lot of supporters here, Kelly, but ever since the debate performance last week, more and more have been trying to think about and face what another Trump term would mean for tech.
Right. And again, the valuations speak for themselves. Under the Biden administration the last 4 years, big tech has become the biggest it's ever been.
Exactly. And a lot of folks would attribute that to sort of these AI underpinnings, the Gen AI shift. When I talk about how the incumbents have benefited, that's really the magnificent 7 or 6, if you want to leave out Tesla. Whereas it's really like the small software names and mid-cap software names that are supposed to have benefited from this as well, be the next level, taking part in the AI shift that really haven't so far. So a lot of folks think that maybe the incumbents could do some strategic M&A activity, which just isn't going to happen in the Biden administration, given how tough the regulators are.
It does seem as though the deal-making angle is probably the most tangible. I mean, there's plenty of companies who feel they either can't sell their company, certainly to any large publicly traded firm, which is why Databricks has been interesting. But anyway, they either feel like they can't sell their company, or if they do, it's going to be held up forever. They're deciding not to do any M&A now to see what's going to happen in November. You have to imagine if it were a Trump win, that we could, probably the biggest winners would be like Goldman and the law firms.
Exactly. The investment banks and the law firms that are doing those deals. Absolutely. That could be a big boon as well.
All right, Deirdre, thank you for now. We appreciate it. Deirdre Bosa.